If you want to be able to sell your house for $20,000 to $50,000 more than it's currently worth, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that in this video. And not hypothetically how to do it, but exactly how I've done it hundreds of times. By the time it's over, I'm going to show you how you yourself can duplicate what I've been doing for people all around the Denver area to get your house sold for more than it's worth. And I think most of us can agree it's more important now than it ever has been before to get every penny out of your house. I mean, house values are down about 15% from where they were in 2022. And I won't go into that in this video. The median home price doesn't reflect that. And I've gone over that in past videos. So just go back and look at the last few videos. I can tell you why that it doesn't reflect in the median home values, but we're down about 15% from 2022 for any particular given house and what it's worth now and what it used to be. So if you bought in that time period, or you just really want to bank on those gains that you had that now are gone, now you've lost a little. By the time that this video is over, you're going to understand how you can recoup $20,000 to $50,000 of the losses that your house values experienced since the peak in 2022. I want to show you the difference between these two houses. All right, so we have two houses. One sold for $710,000. The other one never sold. They still own it, and they were only asking $700,000, so it sat stagnant. Here's the one that sold. First off, I'm going to point out some things we did to refresh this property. It cost the homeowner $15,000. So this homeowner, even though it sold at $710,000, it's like it sold for $695,000 for the money they put in their pocket. But this house would have definitely sold at $675,000 or less if we wouldn't have put that money into it. So spending $15,000 on your house, being smart about it, and taking wear and tear and aging off to make it look fresh and inviting will definitely give you multiple times more than that in revenue at the end of the day when you go to sell it. So let's look at the pictures quick. Here we repainted all the walls in the whole house. Just like most homeowners, they wanted to try different wall colors in different areas, a lot of DIY projects, and that hurts the home value, right? So we put new carpet in. We didn't completely refinish these hardwood floors, but we used Old English to take some wear and tear off them in some areas. It's a cheap way to refresh them. But new carpet, new paint everywhere. These handrails were oak. We painted them white. Also, we staged the home, so all this furniture is staged. New light fixtures, cheap upgrades. So these pickets, they weren't like that. They were the wood pickets. It's pretty cheap and easy to go ahead and get wrought iron pickets, replace the pickets out, new carpet, new pickets, painting everything white, getting rid of the oak, putting new light fixtures in, makes a world of difference. Combine that with new paint, taking some wear and tear off, and you have a whole different looking house, completely brand new. Now the kitchen, this is where it got tricky, and we had to use the right paint colors to make this look modern without breaking the bank. Now this had like old yellow looking backsplash, which it had a Tuscany vibe to it. And we didn't want to refinish these cabinets either. We touched up the cabinets, right? We kept them the same color, and we were just very careful about the wall color we picked so that it would be warm enough that it didn't clash with the yellow of the tile. A little bit of beige, a little bit of gray, to tie it all in together so we didn't have to spend the money, but we could get a fresher new look, right? And it's the same tile around the fireplace. So we were just careful about paint colors and tied it all together. New light fixture, paint, that's it. And this looks like a brand new house. They had dogs, there were scratches all over the hardwood. We were able to, very low cost, get rid of that. New carpet upstairs is all, along with these new pickets, the paint on the handrail. This is the master bedroom, just paint. And here we didn't do anything besides paint the walls. We did not spend the money to go put new frameless shower doors in. We didn't rip out the cabinets. We didn't put quartz over here, right? All these things would have been not got the return. We were very selective about the things we did to this house so that we made sure we got multiple time return on the money that we put into it. The owner had this pickup. Just got done getting ready to put on the market. And they backed it all the way into the garage and pushed this wall in. So we fixed that too. Here, I'm going to speed this up a little bit. Same house we already just watched all those pictures of. I'm walking through it. And right here, this wall was caved into the hall. Fix new drywall, fix the framing, and don't even think twice about it. So that kind of gives you a good idea of this house and what we did to it. Now let's get into the numbers. What happens if you don't do that to it, right? I'm going to prove to you how we got an extra $20K in the pocket of the seller. So another house, the other house, same floor plan. They didn't do upgrades. They wanted $700,000. They never sold it. So it's a different house. You can tell it's got the wrought iron door here. It's got the taller third car stall, but they didn't make the upgrades on the inside. They didn't spend the $15K to refresh it, right? So if we get inside here, so ugly. All right, so they painted the walls the wrong color because it clashes with the yellow. Kind of like I was saying, they could have done this where they tied it together, but they didn't. They painted their cabinets white. It looks like they painted the cabinets white. Buyers don't like it, don't want it. It didn't sell. You know, why paint the cabinets white if you're going to have yellow backsplash that clashes with it and a gray wall that almost has a green tinge to it that's going to clash with the yellow? Like, it's not going to work. You're not going to sell your house like that. Here's the same exact living room with, they didn't take the time to paint. If they would have painted this white, you know, and put new pickets in that were metal and got rid of these older, outdated looking swirly light fixtures, the house would have sold. Like, it doesn't take that much. You just have to do the little things that make it look right so you can get the right amount of money. Anyway, they did put new carpet in, which is nice. If there are stains, they should have replaced it. I didn't walk inside this house, but questionable some of the little things they didn't fix and what they did fix. Anyway, so that's that house. It didn't sell. They just gave up on it. So I wanted to also show you why I think ours would have sold for So here's $665. This sold for $665. It's got an extra bathroom than us. We have 3,100 square feet. This one has 2,885. So 225 square feet smaller, an extra bedroom, but 225 square feet smaller. Very similar looking house. You have a 3-car garage, 2-story. It's kitty corner from the park. We don't have that. So there's a lot of things about this house that are actually better than ours. But they left the railing wood. There's some missing pickets, and they just left it that way. They didn't replace the carpet. They didn't paint the walls. The walls and the ceiling are the same color. This house looks a lot like, this is a lot of the same flavor that our house had before we went and just spent 15 grand on little touch-ups, right? And it got $665. So because we have 200 square feet more, maybe ours gets $675, right? But we were able to net $695 for the seller. We sold it $710. We put $15K into it. And you can do this too. You have to use the right paint colors, stage the house appropriately. You have to change out light fixtures, do the small things that tie it all together and make it look like a modern showroom. Because in this market, buyers are picky. They want to feel a certain way when they walk in the house. And if your house doesn't make them feel that way, they're not going to buy it. And your listing is going to turn into an expired listing, or you're going to have to sell it for really cheap like they did with this one we're looking at here. They sold it for $665, right? They could be selling this house for $710 or more with $15K worth of small cosmetic improvements before they put it on the market. So it shows right. So it gets the attention that it needs to, so it sells. So hopefully that helps you understand in the Denver market how you can sell your house for more than it's worth. If you'd like me to help you look at your house, go through what we should do, what paint colors, how we're going to get your house looking perfect so that it sells for the ultimate price, call me. My cell phone number, my personal cell phone number, 720-252-6888. I'd be happy to come look at your house. There's no cost to you. We'll put together a plan and figure out how to get it sold for the most money. You can also check out my website and look at testimonials. My website's denverpropertyflip.com. Click on that testimonials tab. There's, I think, over 30 testimonial videos of different sellers through the last couple decades at the closing table explaining how I've helped them get more money. See you in next week's video. We'll probably return to looking at the market again and what's happening with interest rates. There's been a lot of changes there, And I think what I have to tell you about it is going to not match what you're hearing in the mainstream media, and probably is going to help you make the right decision whether right now is a good time to buy or sell for you. So anyway, see you next week.